Ladies and gentlecars, welcome back to episode 116 of the Shadow Kvlt
116,
podcast.
116.
It's obligatory at this point.
Oh there.
Hello there.
Yeah, we are back this week, and it's only four of us, myself, Ricky, Scott, and James. Walter, he's actually not going to be on here most of the month, as he's going to be doing some stuff on Saturday nights for a little while, but he's here in spurt. And, well, tonight we begin Spooky Month.
Ooh.
Spooky fingers. Spooky fingers.
How does
No.
he do that? Ooh. Get back on this shit.
Anyway,
Are we trying to sound like Jeff Walker suddenly?
Did that pretty well.
Anyways,
so tonight is the 25th anniversary of this show. We are talking WWF Badd Blood in your house, 1997.
in your house, in your house, is in your house, is in your house.
in your cell.
Yeah, the
Heck in a
second.
sack.
Yep.
The second 3-hour in your house pay-per-view they did, because the month prior with Ground Zero, that's when they decided to make In Your House is 3 hours, as opposed to the normal 2 prior. But so yeah, a couple of interesting notes about this show. The biggest one, obviously, the day the show took place was the day we lost Brian Pillman, who was originally scheduled to face Dude Love on the card, but heart attack in his hotel room in Minnesota, and
Announced on the free-for-all.
Yes.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then briefly brought up again during the show itself.
Mhm.
But yeah, and then looking back with Pillman, and I've said it so many times, and I'll say it one more time, had it not been for the car accident, he'd still be alive. Because-
Well, his dad died early
Yeah,
from heart problems,
defect, so I mean,
so it could have happened at any point.
Mm.
It's like you don't know with those things.
Yeah.
happen at any time. So, but yeah, and Vince very quickly to say this happens a lot in sports and other different venues too, folks. It's like, yeah, we don't want all the fucking heat right now. Just this happens, okay?
Yeah. But the other thing about this show that actually happened after the first couple of matches, we got the St. Louis Legends, since they were in St. Louis for the night. And, of course, the infamous backstage story, according to Jim Cornette, that when he and Jim Ross were putting together this whole thing for the St. Louis Legends to be on the show, Kevin Dunn's like, those guys that you call legends, they haven't been around here forever, or have never been here. Fans?
Nobody will
don't
know who they are.
And then, of
You
course,
don't want to, fucking D-says, motherfucker. Fuck you.
we'll
They wanted
introduce them to everyone.
They wanted to put this before the pay-per-view, before the free-for-all, and not show it on air, but
As little acknowledgement as possible. And like, no, they fought to get it on the show.
Yeah. And thankfully it did, because it was pretty cool. Hosted by Sonny and JR. Yeah, you had Gene Knitsky, Jack Briscoe, Dory Funk Jr., Terry Funk, Harley Race, Lou Thez even, and Sam Muchnick, which was really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But,
It was a huge deal.
yeah, huge deal. All given plaques and stuff. And loved the promo packages that they put together for everybody, and Kevin Kelly doing a cool read on
yeah,
everything.
this is who these guys are, and this is why you should care. This is why they're important.
And this looks like stuff that you're going to see more of now. It seems like we're going to see more of this kind of stuff, as we've already seen over the past few months. The past month, I should say, of Trips being in charge there, like the whole packages with the Intercontinental title and the
US
history of
title.
the United States Championship and all that stuff too. So we're hoping to get that. Another acknowledgement, which we'll get to later on after the review. And correct me if I'm wrong, but is this not the last pay-per-view Vince commentates?
Yeah, it
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
It's one of the last time he commentates, period.
Yeah. Yeah, like over the years he would like guest commentate a match like every so often, like the halftime heat, and even have one episode where Jesse Ventura guest hosted Raw and they did commentary together.
That was so good.
I was just a boy.
But in terms of
As
full
being
time,
Full
Vince
show.
McMahon
Yeah.
commentator before it was really out there, he was the owner and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's the last time we get that.
Yeah. So kind of the end of an era a little bit here in terms of commentary. The end of one era and the beginning of a new eventually with JR and Lawler.
and when you look how long Vince was a commentator, it'd been, what, 30 years?
Roughly.
Close to?
Which is insane. But, oh, Vince, you crazy son of a bitch.
Who's going to get it over more than the guy in charge?
Exactly.
Exactly.
And you
But
just
with
pick up
all
the way he would,
Yeah.
the way he would phrase things, and how he would really try to put certain things over and get the major points out there.
What a maneuver.
Put a maneuver. Like, 1, 2, he got him there. No, he did not.
And that's the finish.
Or at
In more
Beware
ways
of
than
Dog.
one.
Or Beware of Dog in the dark drinking coffee. This is a great match.
It was a hell of a match. Look at this
This
match.
is a hell of a match.
This is a great match.
Aren't you worried, Vince? No.
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 What else
Don't
can
get
we
it
do?
fixed.
What else
I
can
don't
we do?
know.
It's dark.
Fear of the dark. Fear of the dark.
Now, if Vince was backstage, it'd be a whole different story.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, yeah.
Yeah.
He would have been fuming and probably break his quads again.
He'd have gone outside and yell at the thunder and lightning, "Why did you strike my
Let me
show
do
down?"
it real quick.
Okay.
What the fuck was that?
Clip that now. But with all that said, time to talk about WWF Steve Blackman in your house. I mean, Badd Blood in your house.
Wow.
Because the theme song to this show would end up being Steve Blackman's theme during his first
Steve
year and a half in the
Blackman.
company.
Yep.
The real
Which will-
motherfucking problem.
Which, funny enough, Blackman would not too long after this show would appear on TV for his debut heading into Survivor Series. So, little interesting timing there. But
And we have another another version of a theme song for somebody else on the show, which we'll get to later on too. Which
So
sounds so weird to hear it with this show.
yeah. But yeah, WWF Badd Blood in Your House 1997 from the Kiel Center in St. Louis, Missouri, with an attendance of 21,151 sellout with 17,404 paid.
Which, given the time with the WWF, this was a fucking amazing number to do.
Yeah.
Because they weren't doing these big numbers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you had SummerSlam a couple months before, and that did over 20,000, which was
The outliers. And I think Survivor Series did 20,000 as well. But it's one of those
in your house.
outliers for a
That's huge.
B pay-per-view. It was a great number.
Which tells
Yeah.
you how strong the main event was with the gimmick of the Hell in the Cell match. You know, that's what sold it.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, there's not a whole lot of great shit on the show besides.
Oh no.
Oh, no. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But the live gate, $212,550, which kind of low for a high attended show, but given it was an in your house, tickets cheaper, so it's understandable.
Yeah. Ticket prices.
And then
different.
the pay-per-view buys, 168,000. So compared to the prior October pay-per-view, Buried Alive, every metric was higher at Badd Blood than it was at Buried Alive, and way higher. As far as compared to everything else in 97, Badd Blood was the highest attended show of the year. The live gate was the 6th highest of the year, with WrestleMania 13 being the highest. And the pay-per-view buys were the 5th highest, Survivor Series the next month being the highest.
We all know why that one was the highest.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine Vince's mind thinking, What the fuck? Survivor Series out true WrestleMania? What?
You gotta think of the time, though.
Yeah.
It's a way different time.
From the beginning of the year compared to the end of the year, it's like night and fucking day.
Hell,
Oh,
just to compare, like, 3 or 4 months earlier to this point. Whole lot different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But now, as far as the show itself, well, we'll talk about it. As we kick things off, we only get 7 matches on the card, and a couple of them were thrown onto the show to substitute for Pillman and Dude Love not happening for obvious reasons.
Mhm.
And the first match was a handicap tag team match. You have the Legion of Doom of Hawk and Animal versus the Nation of Domination, Rocky Maivia, D'Lo Brown, and Kama Mustafa. Now, originally, this was supposed to have been a 6-man tag. Ken Shamrock joining LOD, but was still hurt, so couldn't be on the show, so they made a 2-on-3 handicap match. And, well, this match was bad. This match was fucking
Oh,
bad.
yeah.
It was what it was.
Yeah,
it was just
too bad.
there to let's get the show started.
Yep.
Yeah, but for a handicap match, I think it went like 5 minutes too long. Like, this was almost 12 and a half minutes, and it
Yeah.
did not need
Not
to go
necessary.
that long.
No.
6-7 minutes at most, and it would have made this match... I'm not going to say it would have made the match much better, but it should have been shorter.
At least to even
considering-
it up somehow. There could have been somebody maybe they could have thrown out there.
Yeah,
I don't
somebody
know,
on the
maybe.
babyface side.
Who I couldn't tell you, but still.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, Cactus, go out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Pretty much.
And this is also like right as The Rock joined the Nation.
Couple
wasn't it?
months
It was
after
about,
he joined.
about
Right
a
around-
month or
Bit.
so after.
About a month or
This
after.
was just when he's developing being The Rock.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I knew timeline wise it was around there, but I didn't remember the exact time.
Yeah. And then we get to the finish. Farouk shows up, interferes, allowing Kama to kick Hawk in the back of the head. And then Rocky hits rock bottom on Hawk for the win. As the Nation of Domination defeated the Legion of Doom in 12 minutes, 20 seconds. Didn't need to be that long.
But it's not even the worst match of the night.
No.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no.
And we are going to get to that pretty soon. But next up, we get another tag team match, this time a midgets tag team match. We have Max Mini and Nova versus Mosaic and Tarantula. It was a goofy match, and you know why they put on here. It was to get a ha-ha out of the crowd. But for the action, it wasn't bad. It was actually solid for what it was in ring-wise for the little guys. But, yeah, that's really... But to finish... So Max pins Tarantula for the win, but there was only a 2 count. And they just ring the bell like, fuck it, let's just get him out
Well,
of here.
it's
There was supposed to be like an interference breakup. The ref just said fuck it and didn't ring the bell.
Yeah.
1-2 close enough.
Mhm.
1,
Yeah.
2, fuck it, ring the bell.
and it's funny. And it's funny to think that Nova would eventually become a Mascarita Sangrada, and Mosaic would later become Octagoncito down in their careers.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's
I
funny
didn't
to-
know about Octagoncito.
yeah.
I didn't know
Funny
that
to
one.
think that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Tarantula was I'm forgetting his fucking name. Google.
And Max Mini was the butt of Jerry Lawler's jokes.
Oh, was he ever?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Spectre 2. Spectre 2.
Okay.
Max Mini would eventually be Dookie.
All right.
Okay, move along.
But in the end, Max Mini and Nova defeated Mosaic and Tarantula in 6 minutes 43 seconds. Now we get to the big pile of crap on this night. First of 2 championship matches of the night for the WWF Tag Team Championships. The champions, the Headbangers, Mosh and Thrasher, versus challengers, the Godwins, Henry O and Phineas I with Uncle Cletus.
And his lucky horseshoe.
Why did this match have to go 12 minutes? This match sucked 1,000
Because
times.
they
Mania.
needed to fill time.
Got to fill time. pal.
Mania.
Mhm. Just yeah. For some reason, aren't the for just I can't think.
Yeah.
You know,
This match
Why?
made me lose brain cells. The best thing about this show, Mosh wearing typo negative. There you go.
yeah, I mean,
That's it.
and you know, all the neckbeards and fanboys out there that just want to pine for the Attitude Era so badly. You need to remember, not everything about it was great. Here's a prime example.
A lot of the
Exactly.
tag team division that wasn't the top teams sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They
not
just-
necessarily saying the Headbangers and Wins were bad as individual teams, but
No chemistry.
Yeah, they just
off
didn't have
time
chemistry
and
together.
Finish is sloppy and just bad timing on all parts.
we got new champs
Hey.
Pretty much.
Eh.
And then
who would
cut like
lose them like a week later.
to
Uh-huh.
LOD. So, yeah, in the finish, Phineas caught Mosh attempting the mosh pit, and then powerbombed him for the pin while Cletus held Thrasher to prevent him from making the save. Yeah, fuck this match. Fuck it for going 12 minutes. Who cares if they need to fill time? This match did not need to go 12 minutes. It's terrible. Fuck this match as the Godwins defeated the Headbangers in 12 minutes, 18 seconds. Oh, dear God. But now that we got through that pile of shit, let's get into something that's a little better. The second championship match.
Nah,
second championship match. The second champion.
Okay. Yeah, the second championship, the finals of the Intercontinental title tournament.
Match that
Owen
is
Hart
nothing about the
versus
match.
Farouk.
Heel
Nothing about the
versus
match.
heel, Owen
Yeah.
Hart versus Farouk, with Austin doing his shenanigans.
Yeah, and that's what is the only good thing about this.
Him doing English commentary, Spanish commentary, French commentary.
Oh, that. Say it again.
But yes,
I speak a little bit of Spanish. I know when someone's talking crap to me.
Estúpido. Estúpido.
Amigo, we amigo.
but yeah. So heading into the tournament final, Owen had defeated. I know he beat Pillman on the Raw episode we just talked about a couple weeks ago. I forgot who it was he beat in the first round.
Yeah.
But it don't matter. And then Farouk actually lost to Shamrock in the first round, but because Shamrock was hurt, Farouk took over his spot and then beat Ahmed Johnson to get to the finals here. Now, yeah, it's a heel versus heel match. The match itself was but is perfect so far on this show.
But it still doesn't really... The match didn't matter.
Yeah,
it was all about Austin.
Which also, though, you think about for the live audience, it really sucked because they can't cheer. Who do you cheer for? And they can't hear Austin doing the stuff. That's for the home audience.
Do we cheer Farouk? Do we cheer? It's the one person they can cheer for. They can't hear.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it.
But yeah, and you would think, if Austin didn't show up in the match...
Bro. It'll be great for TV, bro.
See, it's almost as if they should have had Ahmed in the final against Owen, because at least it would have been a babyface versus a heel.
Get some heat.
Yeah, you knew who would have won anyway. You knew who was going to win heading into this.
Yeah. Yeah, you knew Owen was winning, but
even then, it's Owen's gonna win.
Yeah, but I mean, had they not have Austin involved in everything, if it was just a straight up match between the two, I think it should have been a really good match. I mean, Owen is Owen and Ron Simmons is Ron Simmons. If the dynamics were good and Austin wasn't involved, this could have been a great match between the two, but with two heels and you have Austin out there, it just didn't click. No. But the match itself wasn't bad. It was, like I said, it was meh, but meh on this, up to this point, was perfect compared to the first three matches. But it is what it is. And then the finish, Austin hits Farouk with the belt, allowing Owen to pick up the pin. as Owen Hart defeated Farouk in 7 minutes, 16 seconds. And then we get to another tag team match. Yeah, a lot of tag team matches on this card.
They gotta make time.
We get an 8-man tag team match.
And I'd say fuck this match. Because we've seen it so many fucking times. The Gang Wars was dead by this point. No, but I did not give a shit. I skipped this match. Because I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah.
So yeah, 8-man tag match. We have Los Boricuas with Savio Vega, Miguel Perez Jr., Jose Estrada Jr., and Jesus Castillo Jr. versus the Disciples of Apocalypse, Crush, Chains, Skull, and 8-Ball. Yeah, this
dirty
match,
old assholes. The biker Michael Likers.
The wannabe Hell's Angels, very much.
Hey, it's a couple of Undertaker's friends and Nazis.
And not
But yeah, this match, whatever. I mean, yeah, Gang Wars was bad.
Remember 2 years earlier when Savio was in the King of the Ring final?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, how the mighty
mighty.
Why am I saying fucking mighty? Oh, how the
just a few months after this, he would be main event Savio once again.
Yeah.
Yep.
To replace Sean. But
yeah, we go from Sean to Savio. Nothing against Savio,
but still.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but in the end, the DOA defeated Los Boricuas in 9 minutes, 11 seconds, which was probably about 7 minutes too long. But the finish was cool with the Tilt-A-Whirl backbreaker from Crush. That was pretty cool, but that was really it.
Demolition Crush.
Yeah.
I wrestled Randy Savage at WrestleMania Crush.
Yeah. But now on, finally we're to something good on this night.
And even then, it's not. And even then, it wasn't even
relative to the rest of the card. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
but
the penultimate match of the night, another tag team match. This time, it's a flag match in name only. Well, technically, it's Bret Hart and the British Bulldog versus Vader and the Patriot. So the continuation of the U.S.-Canada feud, particularly with Bret and Patriot. They turn Vader babyface, which, you look back on it, it's like, they needed more baby faces, so it was like, well...
Struggling there.
Yeah, they were kind of struggling. Apart from Taker and Austin, what other baby faces did you really have?
Yeah,
that were
you had Mick as a babyface.
Well, yeah, Mick, but he was off TV by this point for a little while.
Mick was off TV. Shamrock's not there. Ahmed's not there. It's
so
they're really
let's turn Vader babyface.
That makes sense.
No. Don't get me wrong. I love Vader.
And of course, the Patriot coming out to the music that we would know to associate with Kurt Angle.
And hearing that theme and not hearing "You Suck" is so hard.
Weird.
So weird.
Like, why aren't they saying you suck?
And hell,
memo.
And hell, the original version of the theme had like Christmas chimes in there too. But the match itself, I mean, so you would think with a flag match, the only way to win would be to get the flag. But here's the deal:
not on this show.
Everybody in this match was dealing with something. Bulldog with his knee. Bret wasn't 100%, Vader with an elbow injury, and Patriot coming off of a flu. So yeah, everybody was
that, and he was having other issues that he'd pretty much retire from.
Yeah,
not long after this.
Yeah,
and they explained it. It's like, oh, it's pinfalls because Vader can't climb up the flagpole.
Why is he in the match then? Or why is it a flag match then? There's too many questions.
That's like booking PN News in a capture the flag scaffold match.
Scaffold match.
Oh, God, don't even remind me of that.
I mean, who could do... Oh, yeah.
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 But despite all of those handicaps, I thought this was actually a really good match for what it was, but just nobody cared in the crowd. Nobody just gave a shit. As far as in the ring, it was a really good tag match.
Could you have just done Bret versus Vader for the belt?
Right. Or held Bret versus Patriot again would have been fine.
Or, I mean...
Or actually, no. Brett Vader and do Bulldog versus Patriot. You could have scrapped like the 8-man tag out.
Yeah, or the minis match or one of those and split it up day of.
Yeah, and again, you would have had 2 really good matches.
And again, it's just the fact too many tag matches on the card, too many tag matches mushed together next to each other, which does not help. No. So there's a lot of what not to do on this show.
Yeah,
we're looking at you, Tony Khan.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Yep. But in
we just get to the good thing. Seriously,
the only good thing about this show, the whole
show.
thing everybody talks about when talking about Badd Blood.
Yeah, Brett and Bulldog win the match.
Yeah, in the end, Brett rolls up Patriot for the win as Bret Hart and the British Bulldog defeated Vader and the Patriot in 23 minutes, 13 seconds. With more brawling post-match. But now, to the main event and the only thing we remember this show for. It's the number 1 contendership for a shot at the WWF Championship at Survivor Series, contested in the first ever Hell in a Cell match. We have The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. Now, before talking about the match, I think some people might forget, like, how did the Hell in a Cell concept come about? Well, Jim Cornette decided, with how hot this feud was in the late summer, early fall of 97 between Taker and Shawn, a feud you never thought you would see, and we got it. And also with how the match at Ground Zero ended with no contest due to interference and too much brawling, Cornette and behind the scenes thought it'd be, let's make a cage that's the combination of a War Games cage and the Memphis cage. And off to the races we went.
And also the idea of the last battle at Atlanta was also that cage too.
Yes. And supposedly it was referred to as Rage in the Cage initially. And then eventually it was changed to Hell in a Cell.
Rage in the Cage, Hell in the Cell,
penis in your anus.
Yep.
But
from the boinking.
But yeah, whenever you first see that cell, like I couldn't imagine being there in person to see it the first time and looking up like, holy shit, that is a huge fucking monstrosity.
This was the first new kind of match concept in a long time. Yes, it was a cage, but it was a big fucking cage with a roof. Like, what are they gonna do? Who's gonna interfere? Anybody going to interfere?
That's what sold this pay-per-view. That's what sold this show. Yeah. I got the numbers it did.
Shawn is going to die.
Mm-hmm. He got his fucking ass kicked.
But yeah, and like in the promo package, great promo package to build up to this. And then I like how during after the promo package, you got Hebner and Slaughter looking under the ring, looking around, make sure nobody interferes. All right, let's bring the cage down. And then we get Shawn's
interview.
Entrance. Yep,
His interview, it's like, yep, my European title is not on the line, but I'm going to do this alone because I am the man. I'm God's gift to wrestling, and I'm the only guy that can do this.
And, and then Taker comes out, bell rings, and then magic happens.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Magic
Arguably the greatest match in company history. Like, some people have ranked this as the tippy top.
The best.
It'd be up there. You could argue it for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely in 97, like, it's a two-legged race between this and Bret Austin from Mania for the best match of the year. It's definitely between those two, but yeah, it doesn't take. But even though I prefer Bret Austin more than any match ever, but doesn't take away this match is a fucking all-time gem in the history of the business. And
I'll say this was better than their WrestleMania matches.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Not really, but it was better than those.
Yeah. And just the story, perfect story, you know, Shawn, he's trapped in a cell with this monster. What the fuck is he gonna do? And Taker just puts him through the ringer and then some. But Shawn
God.
would get his moments of a comeback and held his own, including one of the most impressive things I've seen a guy of his size do to a much larger guy, and that's hold him for the pile driver with no shakes and deliver it beautifully on the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Although one knock, the fucking cameramen were like way too up in their business.
Know how to do this yet.
Yeah, they didn't know how to do this yet, but Shawn was just like,
time.
get out of here. You're getting too much in our faces. Stop.
It's a lot of like, how do we shoot this kind of shit? We're not used to this.
First time.
Yeah.
Don't mean to get in your way.
Experimenting here.
Mm.
And then you get to like the midway point of the match where you get one of the first big spots of the match where Taker back body drops Shawn over the top and lands on the cameraman. And then Shawn beats the shit out of the cameraman as an excuse for everybody to come to the back to open the door to get him out. And then Shawn, after delivering the elbow and Sweet Chin music, Taker sets up almost immediately from the kick, like, oh, you're so dead. And then Shawn through the door. Taker chases him, and then the catapult in the cell, and then we get color.
Yep.
We get color, and then Shawn takes an even worse pounding afterwards. And then you get... Yeah, and then basically like this... Yeah, first Hell in a Cell match, but it set the tone for everything you can do because they would go outside, go to the roof.
This is why Mick wanted to get tossed off the cage. Because how are we supposed to top this?
He can't. And he knows that. Not because he's not great, but he knows that he can't have the kind of match that Shawn Michaels can have. Right. So,
and you could even tell at this point, it's like, you know, a one false move and somebody's going to fall through that for real. Because
the freaking press slam on top.
And the
how Shawn did just
everything that could have happened that didn't.
Yeah, because the entire top of the cage was held together by zip ties.
Still fucking amazing. You have millions of dollars in the bank, and you put fucking crab attack for $1. Come on, man.
But then the memorable spot where Shawn's on the side, kick the hand, and he falls.
Boom.
Which, it's not the Foley fall, but again,
but it's still
we
iconic.
hadn't seen anything up to this point like that. It's when you see Hell in a Cell archival footage, that's one of the things you see is Shawn falling off.
And really, at that time, minus Foley, the only other guy probably in that roster that you could think would actually do that would be Shawn.
Yeah. And we also completely forgot to mention one cool moment was while they were on the roof, Shawn's blood dripping onto the camera and the cool visual looking up as Shawn's face is getting scraped. Although, Peacock, you forgot to censor the cameraman saying, "Aw, shit."
But then the continual beating and then the
chair shot.
batters up.
Which
wind
was...
up, swing, clunk.
Which was payback in Shoot from Taker to Shawn for when Shawn hit him and hit Taker in the chair at SummerSlam too hard. And Taker's like, you're not going to get one over on me, you motherfucker. You're going to get it
that is one of the hardest chair shots ever.
Across his eye.
Did it censor that on Peacock?
No, that's not censored on Peacock.
Because I have it on DVD from the Undertaker collection, and it shows everything like, boom. I even felt it like, oh, God, I was
Taker
like just
delivered
the
some hard
sound,
shots.
Like
the sound of it, and Michael's cranium's been cracked. Like
that kind of reminded me the same way how Undertaker pushed the chair to Randy Orton, Hell in a Cell, almost close
at Armageddon.
At Armageddon. Oh,
but still, God. I don't think. But still, there's no harder chair shot Taker delivered than the one on Mr. Kennedy. That one was fucking brutal.
The one on Maven at the Royal Rumble.
Yes, that was another brutal one.
But Taker he sets up and it's like it's fucking over, and then the lights
go out. Organ plays, and then out comes Paul Bearer with that's gotta be Kane.
It's one of those things tattooed in my memory. It's like, oh shit!
You see him walk, the camera angle, the explosion behind him, Paul Bearer right there. You like the.
And you got to remember,
Jason is here.
After SummerSlam, there was very little mention of Kane.
Right.
So you knew he was coming, but you didn't know it was going to be here.
Yep.
And what better time to do it than in a first?
Yes.
And then you get the classic visuals of Taker's face, like, oh my fucking god!
And that's the critical moment. That is the critical moment, because if Taker doesn't do that, Kane's done.
Yeah.
That was because who the fuck is Taker? Taker's not going to do that for anybody. There's nobody that he would ever do. He's the Undertaker, but
he sees a ghost. He sees the ghost of his dead brother.
Yeah, he's like, he can't be real. If he doesn't react like that, Kane doesn't get over.
Yeah, and then Kane ripping the fucking door, and the crowd went nuts for that. And then gets into the ring.
Man.
Doug Furnace in Nashville.
Mm-hmm. And then
that was a Cornette thing.
Right. And then he gets in the ring, and then fire from the posts, and then Tombstone on Undertaker, which you're thinking, what? Only Underfaker ever did it to him. But then you get his brother doing it to him, knocking Taker out cold, and then like the crowd, they're like almost silent, but silent in the best way possible. Like, what the fuck
is this?
Yep.
And then Shawn crawling from the pool of his blood, just so out of it. One arm, and then 1, 2,
low Hebner count.
3.
The dramatic,
and then the visual of the cameraman facing Shawn's face,
zooming in on his face
as he's being dragged by Hunter and China. Like it's one of those iconic Shawn moments where when you see the footage of Shawn's career, it's like you see that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's how we end the night. So overall, this show fucking sucked.
It was a terrible show, but it's one of those things where you could have a crappy movie, but if it's a great ending, it's like,
it's like
it might not have been that bad.
It's like it's like some horror movies. It's like, oh, I've seen that movie, man, it sucks. Did you see the end? Well, no, I gave up an hour in. You got to finish it. I don't want to fucking. It's a slow burn, dude. You got to get there. Give it time. That's how this show is.
Oh yeah.
You got to get through a ton of shit to get to gold. So
yeah.
And the gold here is one of the greatest matches ever
in the history of the company. And the fact it is tagged to this show, and that moment in time is just so crazy.
Of course, the greatest debut for a new character ever in the history of wrestling.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Bar none. Can anybody name me a better one?
And everything
for a new character.
Right. But yeah, had it not been for the Hell in a Cell being on this card, this would no doubt be among the 10 worst shows of all time.
Absolutely.
With the Hell in a Cell, it's merely one of the worst shows in company history, but with one of the best matches in company history.
It's like WrestleMania 13.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
A shitty fucking show with one amazing match.
I would think that maybe even like create a backstage where like, let's just throw everybody out. Maybe this, hindsight's 2020, of course, and I wasn't there in the meeting, but it's like, we'll throw him on the show. We'll throw him on the show. Yeah, we'll put them on the show. Let's do an 8-man tag. Let's do a mini tag. Let's do a tag. Why are we doing all these fucking tag matches? Did you see what we had booked for the main event? Yeah, you're right. Throw them out there.
Yeah.
Basically, the whole thing about Badd Blood was just the Hell in a Cell match. They didn't fucking care about the rest. It's just like, we just got to make time. We got to milk them for the money.
Mm-hmm.
The crazy thing is, this isn't even the worst in your house that year.
That would come 2 months later.
Yeah. There were some other bad ones in there too that year.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Final Four was good. Revenge of the Taker was blah.
Nah.
Cold Day in Hell was mad. Canadian Stampede was a classic.
Stampede was amazing. Ground Zero
has solid.
Had some good stuff. Bad Blood had the Hell in a Cell. Then DX was that was the worst one.
I remember that was bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Only thing to go back and watch on that show is Shamrock Shawn.
Even then,
it was not that.
It was the first pay-per-view match of Austin and Rock, but
that too, yeah. But in the end, Shawn Michaels defeated Undertaker in 30 minutes even. 30 minutes flat, which was interesting. But I think it's easy for everybody here. Favorite match, Hell in a Cell, least favorite, 8-man tag, sleeper, flag match, even though it's not that great. And then shocker, the debut of Kane. Especially after when all the teases stopped for a little while. And then it just happened here.
No, the shocker is that this fucking pay-per-view sucked.
Except for the main event.
Well, I mean, another shocker hearing the death of Brian Pillman.
That's a big deal.
Where, like, no, who the hell would have seen that coming?
Mm-hmm. And you could also say Sleeper 2 could be the Legends thing. Because that was that was actually a nice thing to enjoy on the show.
Or the Sleeper that the majority of the audience was fucking dead watching this fucking pay-per-view. Most of the night.
Or the shocker being the fact that they sold 21,000 seats for an In Your House.
I bet you people, when they went to that show, were so fucking frustrated. They wanted to go, but they were like, oh man, you gotta go for the main event. You gotta go for the main event. But I want to fucking go already. You gotta wait for it. You gotta wait for it.
Taker and Shawn, that's what we're here to see. So
you gotta wait.
You gotta get to it.
You gotta wait 2 hours to get to that. Push job endeavor, Scott?
Oh, did I even do it? I forgot to do it. So
who cares?
I mean, with this show, what would you want?
It can go either way. It can go either way.
Yeah,
so know what happens after Badd Blood, of course, it's much for y'all.
I mean, you push job endeavor. All right, push job endeavor. Taker, Shawn, Brett.
Push Taker.
Push Taker, job, Shawn, Endeavor, Brett.
There you go.
Nobody has any fucking imagination around here.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're the one that made the push job endeavor.
Yeah, so use your imagination. Don't go with the obvious answer.
Dude, can we say
Brett, Endeavor, Shawn, and Job Taker? What about that?
Or how about push Brett and Endeavor Taker? You ever thought about that?
Hold on. No. Somebody give me a towel and a muffin. I'm tired. I'm old. I work with fucking children.
Here's one. How about push Shawn off a cliff?
No, push Shawn off the top of the cell.
Shawn, because Shawn at this time, it's like you're getting pushed off a cliff.
Push Shawn off the cliff. Job Sonny on Shawn, and and endeavor to have a better pay-per-view next month.
All right, but now
to This Week in Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with the news from last night about Antonio Inoki.
Yeah, the huge.
Which, the fact that they took time off of SmackDown and acknowledged it, you would have never seen that a couple of months earlier.
And acknowledging that he actually won the championship, even though it wasn't recognized. That was you never would have heard that one too. Jeez. It would have been a quick blip at the beginning of the show, 10-second bell of a Tony Inoki's face or something like that. The next on Raw, they would have even acknowledged on SmackDown if Vince was still there.
It's like most people, they probably didn't even know Inoki was the WWE champion.
Mm-hmm. At one time. But yeah, founded New Japan Pro Wrestling, protege of Ricky Dozan, the high chief, if you will, of Japanese wrestling, and just was the standard bearer for strong style, fighting spirit, King's Road, everything you know about Japanese wrestling now all starts back with then. Trained under Karl Gotch, and was associates with Lou Thez, and just it's a whole nother era.
There is no New Japan Pro Wrestling without Inoki.
Nope.
Of course, the infamous Inoki Muhammad Ali mixed martial art.
That match is but there's nothing great about that match. But still, it was for its time. It was huge. Wrestler versus boxer, big promotion thing. Jim Ross has talked about how he was helping to sell that match in various different markets. And the match was bad. It just is. It was boring. But point being, here's a guy who was looking to get exposure around the world and was influenced on so many different people, wrestled everybody you could imagine. The match you see, and the clips have been all over Twitter nowadays. The lineup of people coming into the ring as he slaps them, instilling fighting spirit and Inokiism in them, and footage of him slamming Andre and wrestling this legend and having this match.
He wrestled Regal at a Clash of the Champions.
Right?
He wrestled Ric Flair at that North Korean show.
Yep. The only match, if you watch the Dark Side of the Ring, it's the only match that gets any kind of reaction because the audience doesn't get it. And
and if you actually watch that match, it was a really good match.
Yeah,
him and Flair.
Solid, yeah. And for that audience, they're just like, And anyone, again, like so many clips are showing up on Twitter. Everyone see the footage of Sylvester Terkay versus Luke Gallows, and Inoki gets hot on how bad the match is. Anyone see this?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw
See that? Oh my god, it's brutal. It's Sylvester Terkay, who I know, and Luke Gallows, OC, the Good Brothers, all that shit, having this horrible match. And Inoki is in the crowd. He's not even on the show, but he gets up and walks around ringside screaming, "Bullshit! This, not that," and yelling in Japanese how bad it is, throwing chairs around, just embarrassed. Just embarrassed by how bad this match is. And Gallows hits like a spine buster cover, 1, 2, 3, and gets the fuck out of Dodge. Because he knows, Inoki's pissed. Fuck, I gotta get out of here.
Could you imagine Vince doing something like that?
Yeah, exactly. If Vince,
Oh my god!
Imagine it's Vince at the Rumble with Batista and Cena, only Inoki doesn't pull it, tear any muscles.
Now, see, didn't Vince once cancel a match on a house show with Rhino and somebody?
Maybe.
Oh my god!
I wouldn't doubt
Inoki's
it.
going
Wouldn't doubt
batshit crazy.
Wait,
You see, you're watching it, yep.
Oh my god!
Because that's
Calm down,
that's the
Inoki,
kind of
calm
level. Inoki got himself so over, he was elected to their Congress, to their House of Counselors, or whatever it's called there. So he was able to tenure his popularity into that whole thing, and was supportive of sports and so forth on a political level, not just on a business level. So without Inoki, there's no New Japan, there's no Wrestle Kingdoms, there's no really, it was also because of Inoki that you had the split off that happened with All Japan in the early days, and also the creation of Wrestle 01 wrestling back in the early 2000s. That whole situation there, because he was supposed to send Hashimoto to one place to get it going. Hashimoto's like, "Fuck this! I'm just going to start my own company." 01 that comes out of that one, and everything else. So he's largely responsible for the development of Japanese wrestling since the 60s.
in fact, yesterday was the anniversary of his debut.
Wow.
It's like the 60th anniversary of his debut in wrestling.
That was right there. And the crazy thing for us here, we find out that he dies, and his date of death was October 1st yesterday because of the time difference. So he died in the future. But it's a huge, he had a terrible, debilitating disease that just attacks the heart, attacks the muscles, and it just, it's going to happen. Dignified still, he didn't go out in a bad way. But he still will always retain his respect and the level he always has. WWE Hall of Famer for whatever it's worth. But yeah, that's the true legend right there.
In terms of Japanese wrestlers, one of, if not the greatest.
He's Mount Rushmore.
Oh, he is. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep. It's Ricky Dozan, Inoki, Baba, and probably Misawa.
Yeah,
if I could throw
that'll work.
That'll work.
Maybe Saruda.
Actually,
oh god, Scott, you gotta pull the glasses
actually,
out.
it's Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks.
See, I don't even need to do it now. He's doing it already.
Hello, everybody. I am Danhausen. Danhausen. Very nice, very evil.
Oh yes.
And I would like to respond to something I said last week about wanting to have sex with Saraya. Apparently, it's pronounced Saraya. She wants us to call her Saraya. It says Saraya, but tomato, tomato. It's neither here nor there. And I made the proclamation that I'd want to have sex with her. Well, Saraya, I know you like it naughty, but I got a very important question for you. Do you like the sex very nice or very evil? And if you don't accept my offer, then, well, you guessed it, be cursed, and you will rue the day.
Levi's Danhausen sounds like Julio.
I've been watching too much Danhausen.
Speaking of,
makes a cunt out of herself. I work for a boss that actually listens to me.
Yeah. Okay, sweetheart, I understand the promo bombed, and it happens. Everyone has a bad night. You don't have to bury your ex-employer to try to get over, okay? You get one pass. Don't do it again. You've been warned.
Then she tried backtracking on Twitter, where everybody's like, okay, then why'd you do the promo then?
Yeah. Yeah, promo fell apart. It was a train
Your
wreck.
name rhymes with shit.
Yeah, great comeback. Again,
and she's still not cleared.
Night, so, she's not going to be.
Yep.
And then another thing with AEW, the whole Malachi Black situation.
Oh yeah,
which this thing,
toxic fans.
It's even more confusing because who's lying and who's telling the truth?
Yeah,
because he wants to say that my contract's never 5 years. His boss said it was 5 years. So either he doesn't know how long his contract is, or Tony's fucking lying.
And based on the history of the two, I go with the latter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weird ass situation that nobody knows what's going on.
But one thing we do know about it is the fact that this man, who has done nothing to anybody except try to feed his family and pay his bills, gets fucking death threats.
That's stupid.
This
really, people.
This tribalism bullshit really needs to stop. Grow the fuck up. Stop taking shit that's not real so fucking serious, okay? I'm looking at wrestling fans, diehard Marvel fans, diehard Star Wars fans. Cut your shit, okay? You're making it harder for all of us to enjoy this stuff. There's no
bad apples ruin it for everybody.
Exactly.
And then the entire state of AEW is like in the air, like EVPs are all suspended. Punk's pretty much not coming back. I guarantee he ain't coming back. I mean,
and the EVP situation, it's like, who knows when they're going to be back too? Because there's a lot of legal situation with this.
Yeah, there's all kinds of hush-hush shit you can't talk about. So once their investigation, whenever it or however it's being done, is finalized, you're not going to hear a word about it. But it doesn't. I don't know what the numbers are. So if anyone has the numbers of how the ratings have been since,
I think it's been close to maybe.
They dropped this week. They were under 1 million this week. And Rampage is just sinking like a rock.
So that tells you, it's like,
yeah,
it was, it got a lot of buzz, fizzled away. And this has just been, I think, mentioned before, how crazy this year has been for wrestling with all the big shit that's gone down this year. And we still have time to go.
What else could happen?
Yes.
I don't know. I mean,
Nick Khan buys out Tony Khan.
Oh God!
Who all survived the Teddy Long Blockathon?
Long Blockathon, yes.
Like we log off last week, and then instantly it's like Teddy Long blocked me, and he blocked everybody. But then you learn that somebody hacked him and blocked everybody.
That's the big, it's like, all right, we get the point. Sorry, dude. It's like, I ain't blocking anybody, player. I love you all. You got me trending. That's pretty cool.
I'll tell you what, player. For that little incident, you gotta go one-on-one with the Undertaker.
And then I'm gonna have a tag team match.
An 8-man tag.
But also
tag.
But also
a flag match tag with no flag match.
But also, speaking of Teddy, I was going through my Instagram and I saw something that his wife had passed away too. So,
Oh shit.
yeah.
Man, Extreme Rules. I think it's next week, right?
Next Saturday. So we're probably gonna have to do the episode in the afternoon next week.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So, but can I just say, finally, we have an Extreme Rules pay-per-view that feels like an Extreme Rules pay-per-view, finally.
This show looks great.
This show looks awesome. So the card now, we have a 6-man tag team good old-fashioned Donnybrook match, which that should be entertaining.
Gotta be a lot of potatoes thrown in this one.
That's good. That has the recipe to be a great 6-man brawl.
Mm-hmm.
So
open up with this match.
Yes, open with this
begging
match.
You. Yeah. Open up with this.
All the
nothing will follow it. Nothing will be able to follow it, but open with this match.
We also now got a ladder match for the Raw Women's title with Bianca and Bayley, which that should be really good.
Yep, we got a strap match.
Yeah, the strap match with Cross and Drew. We got the I Quit match, Edge and Balor. Yeah. That should be really good.
That's going to be interesting.
Really good.
Ronda and Liv in the Extreme Rules match. But I'd say, apart from the Donnybrook match, the Fight Pit match with Riddle and Rollins is going
that
to be
one.
Anticipated.
Shamrock is lobbying to be the referee for this match.
That would be amazing.
That would be
Please
that'd be such a great call. Happen. We could do that.
You see him as the enforcer just sitting there like...
Yeah, that would be amazing. It was great when they had Kurt Angle do for the first one with Riddle and Thatcher. Why not for pay-per-view?
It would make total sense if they could make it happen.
Yeah. That's the one outside of the Donnybrook. The Fight Pit is what I'm looking forward to. Just let these two go out there and fight.
See what they do.
Yep.
Do crazy shit.
Mm-hmm. And with the potential rumors of maybe Bray coming into the show, where do you see him?
Where do you see
now? What main events?
That's the thing. We don't know yet.
Does the strap match main event or does the Fight Pit main event?
I think the strap match.
Because there's a case for each one. There's a case for each one.
There's a case for the I Quit match to go last.
Yeah.
You know, there is. The Dynamite could be last. I mean, it could.
The ladder match. I mean, what other?
What other title matches are there?
Just the women's
titles matches.
And that could be it.
Wait, no, I was gonna say the IC title on the line.
No,
because Gunter's in the Donnybrook match.
Yeah, there's no tag title. Roman's not on the show.
No U.S. title.
No U.S.
U.S. title.
Really, all the matches on this show.
Liv and Ronda could be. It's the Extreme Rules match, and that's the name of the pay-per-view. It is for the title. That could be last.
And Ronda's on the poster for the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's possible. I'm not saying it is, but it's the possibility.
I mean, we don't know, honestly. We don't know. This is like the first time in a while I feel like, what could main event?
How great is that? You really can. Every single match has the potential to go on last or be the main event or whatever.
And then the whole Bray Wyatt White Rabbit thing.
Honestly,
crazy.
If the whole Bray Wyatt thing happens at the end of the pay-per-view, I'd say probably the strap match be the last match. If that happens, because what other match is he going to interfere?
Right.
That's like the only logical
have him just have him show up in the middle of the show and not interfere at all. It just be a reveal.
True.
The only thing that's for sure is nothing's for sure.
But would you have him as Swan Bray, regular Bray, Rogers Bray?
It don't matter. Bray in general would be cool to see.
You could have him show up as regular Bray and then interfere as the Fiend.
Could do that.
Yeah,
or just continue, me with the subtlety stuff. Whatever, let's say, for argument's sake, that strap match is last. Drew wins, and he's standing there holding a strap, and then all the lights go out like the Fiend used to do. And just listen to the crowd buzz, bring the lights up, go out. Just do that.
That could work.
Make people say,
shit. It's going to make you want to tune in.
Is he going to show up on Raw? I better watch Raw.
Right.
Little things like that, because they've been doing it. you know, the whole idea of doing the White Rabbit thing for the house show crowd, or when they're
or
on the
would you
TV,
just have the
all
White Rabbit theme at the very end and Juice like looking around?
Could totally do
then,
that.
Yeah,
Could totally do that. You know,
because whether match besides Kid Fear, not just solo or that, but no. Crazy to think, unless for all we know, it's not even Brett at all. It could be somebody else.
It's gonna be Bray.
I mean, I know it's Bray, but then again, you never know unless
anything less than Bray right now is going to be a disappointment.
Yeah,
because they've said nothing. This is all on the fans now. This is all internet buzz, and it's like, I think WWE knows, the machine knows, if they don't deliver, nothing's going to live up to that.
Yeah, this would be kind of a thing Vince would do, but not on their honor.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No. There's a lot of stuff. So, you know, and it's fun to be a fan again with this stuff. So you
it really is.
And talk about these things. Like, instead of just being like, because go back a year ago with us. Pay-per-view's coming up, Roman's gonna win, so-and-so's gonna win, someone's gonna okay, moving on. Now it's like,
what?
Now we got to use our brains.
Yeah, I hate that.
Or how about this for detail? Like, after, say, if the strap match goes last, Drew wins, and they do the gradual lights out, and then you give one spotlight on the middle of the stage, and it's Bray's rocking chair and lantern there.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
because TNA did that. Because TNA did do that for Sting at the end of Turning Point 05. After Jared beat Rhino, you had a spotlight in the middle of the ring with Sting's bat, glove, and boots in a chair, signifying, oh shit, Sting's coming.
Or have
things like that.
Little things throughout the night after every single match, and then it culminates after the main event.
Mm-hmm.
Little reference there and there. Maybe see one of the puppets back, like, oh shit!
Like Mercy the Buzzard. It's the law of the jungle, you dumb bunny.
If Bray does come back, I would love for Alexa Bliss just to be walking down, and she sees Bray, like, and I'd be like, I don't know.
Where is Extreme Rules again? Where's the show?
It's in Philadelphia.
In Philly, so I mean, Philly's accustomed to surprises.
Plus, you're gonna have a lot of hardcore fans there too.
Well, yeah.
So,
Go figure, right? Being Extreme Rules in Philadelphia. We don't get one ECW chant. Fans, just go the fuck home. You suck.
That's the first thing they're gonna. That's the first thing you're gonna chant.
And they better have Paul Heyman appear for a promo on the show too.
Pre-recorded.
Yeah,
the land of extreme is alive. You know, whatever you want to call it. Just let him do it once.
Or I would love if he would come out in his old ECW theme. It's like, welcome.
Put the hat on, put the black jacket on, the backstage pass, the classic Paul look.
But I got something to say to you, Eric Bischoff.
You're in our house, bitch.
I'm your wife.
It's Edge.
It's 3 words. It's 3 words.
First 3 words.
Matt freaking Hardy.
Mm-hmm. I almost forgot about you.
Bouncing checks. Check.
Mr. Shoot Promo himself. On a personal note, if you want to shoot Cowboy,
the only reason you were WWE champion for a year is because Triple H didn't want to work Tuesdays.
Didn't want to work Tuesdays.
Oh my God! Oh Lord! Oh Lord! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Holy
Barbecue
smoke,
sauce!
Holy smoke! Holy smoke!
Freaking JBL was drunk that entire show.
Yeah,
because there's alternate commentary. There's alternate commentary to One Night Stand with JBL being mic'd up, and he's drunk the whole time.
Oh God! I don't know what's funnier, drunk JBL commentary or the fact that he tripped on the way to ring to save Jerry Lawler and then tripped on the way to the table at the Elimination Chamber literally like 2 weeks after. Hence why on 205 Live, hence why on...
JBL squaring off with Godzilla was pretty hilarious.
when he's
maggle.
You
got the tranquilizer dart. Just the look.
What are you looking at?
You're like Big Show. You eat pizza.
So put up your Duke's Dragon in his fucking underwear. But it still boggles my mind after the 2 times Bradshaw tripped on the way to the ring or to the table. Fucking not long after on 205 Live, there's a wrestler named Trip Bradshaw. Like, we had to get you, John. That's still one of the funniest ironies ever.
They get him before he gets them.
That's right.
Yep.
Aha.
Aha.
Oh, God.
Another cool thing from this past week, Shotzi got her tank back.
Ooh.
Yes.
And Shotzi's wearing chaps now.
Aha. Nice.
Very nice.
Yes. We like
Mamacita,
Shotzi.
You want to get them on my burrito?
Yes, please. And everyone out there, stop saying assless chaps. All chaps are assless. Thank you.
Exactly. But I think now that we're getting into that, forget JBL. The king of tripping is Titus O'Neil.
Yes.
No, Sin Cara.
Oh, yeah, Sin Cara. That's another one.
Botch Cara.
Yeah.
Oh, my finger! Quit the match! I quit match! Alberto just beats the shit out of him.
Like, you are a fucking idiot.
He runs and he... my knee! My
knee! But I think now that we're talking about wrestlers tripping on acid, on their feet, I think that's a clear sign it's time to wrap up this week. But
really? Not the longest episode this week.
No, not the longest episode, but it was
it's
good
not it's not the length of the episode. It's what information you get from it.
Yeah,
that's
it's
what's
not
important.
the size that counts, asshole. It's what you do with it.
It's not the size of your pencil. It's how you write your name.
Exactly.
Quote
that
David
one is
Stone.
also sexual.
It's not the size of your tool, it's the way you use it.
Yeah. Nobody really says that stuff. It's okay.
Yeah. But update on the schedule. So next week we talked about Kane's debut tonight. So it's only fitting that for the 25th anniversary of his debut again, top 10 Kane one-on-one matches. Which
we're just doing one-on-one matches.
Yeah,
because we're leaving
and tags are cop-outs.
Look, you're leaving out 2 of his most famous matches though.
Well,
Royal Rumble 01
yeah.
and the TLC on Raw.
Yeah, there is that. So
if you're just doing one-on-one matches, that's way fucking.
I think we need to get a little leeway with those 2 because I had those 2 on my list anyway.
Yeah,
those are outside of WrestleMania the 2 most famous matches.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's
face it.
All right,
and besides, 3 of us are going to have it on our list, so we overrule you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying for me like they're going to be 1 and 2, but
right.
It's not. It's not the matter of where they would be. It's just typically whenever I like doing lists, I leave multi-man matches out because they're cop-outs.
It all really depends of the multi-man match, though.
Yeah, like how big of a role did they play in the match? Like if they played clearly not much of a role at all, then why have it?
Like Survivor Series 01. Kane didn't play much of a role in the winner-take-all.
No.
So I wouldn't include him in there. I wouldn't include him in a lot of other stuff as well. But it's like those 2 in particular, you're kind of... That's erasing 2 of his biggest matches.
Fair. That's fair. But anyway, so yeah, that's next week. And then the week after that, it's the 15th anniversary review of TNA Bound for Glory 2007, where you get a dream match that nobody thought would ever happen. Sting and Kurt. Then the week after that, it's not a top 10 list, it's just discussion about wrestling's most evil characters.
Evil. Indeed.
Evil. Lovers of all that you know.
And then the end of the month, Halloween weekend, Halloween Havoc 97, Age in the Cage!
Yay!
Which, yeah, it's funny how we say age in a cage,
Yes.
and look at the age of a lot of wrestlers now.
Exactly. But yeah, that's spooky month for the Shadow
Ooey, ooey, ooey. Are dooey dambala.
Give me the power, I beg of you.
Anala, Northlack, Nonade the Envy.
Seattle.
Seattle.
I'm coming for you, Sting.
Karaoke. Seattle.
You're killing me, Seattle.
See, Sting, I once had a jackass. I love that jackass. And one day, I had to wrestle that jackass. He had fake teeth and a banana nose and fake hair.
Somebody clip that.
Clip that one now.
That was perfect.
Thank you.
Really was.
Thank you.
It's almost like Ole Anderson was here, except not much of an asshole.
Thank you. Thank you. That was a little slow on that, James, but thank you.
So yeah, that's.
You know, I
spooky
used to think
month.
you were a dumb fuck, but there's so many other dumb fucks that you've climbed up without doing anything.
Yes. Great line. Great line.
But before we go, it's plug time. Rookie.
Oh man, I wish you could have done it.
I can't go too long with it. It hurts.
That's what she said.
Get in there. Yeah. That does not look good on camera, Levi. That does not look good.
Okay, Lanny
it doesn't.
Poffo.
Virgil. Booker T.
You better play with that
Fuller.
yourself. You can't do anything else with it.
Exactly, yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh,
Anyway.
I broke
I think
Levi.
you just broke him.
Anyway, Ricky, you got some stuff
Anyway,
to
go
plug?
ahead.
Anyway, you can follow me on my Instagram at Arcaraman You can follow me on my Twitter at Hermaster18. You can follow me on my YouTube channel where today my 31 Days of Horror series started today, actually. And the first episode I did was on the entire Child's Play franchise. I'm going to be doing a horror franchise for the rest of October until the very end, so stay tuned for that series. Tomorrow's video, I'm going to be ranking the entire Candyman franchise, which that was a lot of fun to do. And like I said, every single franchise you're thinking of, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, even some ones you never even thought of, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Scream.
Halloween.
Of course I'm going to have Halloween, Hellraiser, so on and so forth. So stay tuned for that. You can also catch me here doing both the Shadow Kvlt and the Worst in Podcast.
James.
You can follow me you can subscribe to me on my YouTube at We Are Pro Wrestling, where I just finished up my Sting and WCW retrospective. This coming Friday, I'm going to be doing the first episode of October where I talk about the history of 605 wrestling. Whether it's Georgia Championship Wrestling, World Championship Wrestling, Saturday Night, whatever it's called, you knew it under 3 numbers. 605. Check that out. Subscribe to me on my channel. Follow me on my Twitter at WAPW_wrestling.
Scott.
All right, find me on my YouTube channel. It's Mr. Scott doing reactions and all kinds of fun stuff. Tomorrow begins my spook season fun here for October with my top 10 favorite horror-themed metal songs. Both Ricky and Levi get a shout-out in that match because I want to see them do their versions of this list, along with our friends Reanimate Her and Lament Butterfly, and anybody else that you know out there that are horror fans or metal fans. Love to see their top 10, so that debuts tomorrow morning around 9:30 in the morning, so please check that out. Share it on social media if you'd be so kind. All kinds of other fun stuff for October. I've got Bloodbath lined up to do a reaction to, a recommendation from Levi. I've got Typo Negative lined up. I've got top 10 scariest moments from Texas Chainsaw Massacre lined up. And who knows what else is going to be in there. So that's all happening in October on my YouTube channel. Find me on Twitch. Also, enter It's Mr. Scott every Thursday night, where I'm doing stream themes nowadays. We pick a particular year, and we look at 5 specific metal albums from that year. I jam out a song from each album, have a lot of fun. I just started this past week doing a bonus song that if you contribute a certain amount of subs or bits, you unlock the bonus song, and I try jamming it on the stream. Last week, I tried doing Spirit of the Radio from Rush. It was not fun, but I got through it. So that's happening on Twitch every Thursday nights, and you find me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok under It's Mr. Scott. So please follow me on all those social networks, find my merchandise store, and everywhere else. Please hang out with me and chill out with me. When I go live on YouTube as well, I'm doing Friday night live chats, and I'm also going to start trying to do Sunday morning chats too for our friends across the pond in England and Germany and Norway and all the other cool places I've gotten to interact with people. So please do that. Also, check out our good brother Walt Ball. He's on Twitter at Your Walt Ball. He's on Instagram at smokin_Walt_Ball. Like Levi said, he's going to be busy the next few weeks because Halloween's a big thing for his area, and he's doing some cool stuff at his local theater. So very proud of him for doing that stuff. So follow him, and you also check him and me out on the Necrocasticon podcast. October's going to be a weird month for Necro, so be hanging with us every week we do stuff, because we're going to have some really sick shit coming at you, and sick shit is legit. So
how
hang
sick
out.
Are we talking about?
I'll tell you after the show.
He's gonna puke.
Worse than that.
Puke.
That's how Barnes pukes too.
I'll sign some volcano insurance.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You know what's
It
funny?
expired.
You know what's funny? I've been thinking about talking to Nick about having him do voiceover for Chris Bard's commercials.
I would love that.
I need to get a hold of him about one for like a car dealership.
Find like old 70s car or early 80s car commercial shit on YouTube.
And have Bard's narrate.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
I'll have to remind myself of that. But anyways, you can subscribe to me on YouTube, ThrashManiac99. Literally getting that much closer to 3,500 subs.
Yep.
Lately, my videos, for the most part, been blowing up. Like my rant from over a week ago has blown up. My suffocation ranking's gotten quite a bit of buzz. The fucking compilation I made for Jam Altars of Madness equals John's Sadness.
I love that. I love that video.
Well, I love you, John, but number 6.
Now
really?
you will live in infamy every time we do the Horseman, and number 6 will be the Jammin' John special.
There you go.
But still, you gotta ask yourself the question, which is worse? Having Altars of Madness number 6 in a Morbid Angel ranking, or Cold Lake number 2 in a Celtic Frost ranking?
Bad.
Which do you think is worse?
Old Lake?
The answer is yes. The answer is close to the edge
Yes.
by yes. Anyways,
yes. I.
But earlier this morning, I posted my review for the new Autopsy album. Fucking amazing album. It's basically Mental Funeral Part 2. It's an amazing album. It's nasty and it's disgusting sounding, but that's what you want from Autopsy. You don't want clean production from Autopsy. You want demo sounding production.
You want music to fuck to. Ask that couple from the Maryland Dead Festival.
Exactly. But as far as what's coming in for October, well, tomorrow I'm going to be reviewing the new Slipknot album. And so far I've heard it's actually a great album, so I'll probably be checking that out tomorrow morning and then do the review sometime tomorrow. As far as everything else coming up for October, of course, I'll be doing the response to Scott's horror-themed metal song list. 2 album rankings this month, October 13th, Blood Red Throne, and then Halloween Day, Typo Negative. And, of course, album reviews, under the radar episodes, maybe thread videos, or maybe a Chris Barnes commercial will come down the pike. But also forgot to mention, tomorrow morning, new Horseman podcast episode happening, as we are doing, in response to Watch Mojo completely botching their list, the top 20 heavy metal songs of all time.
Oh yeah, I did a reaction.
Yeah.
Because Watch Mojo is for low information consumers. That's the bottom line, because
They don't know what the hell they're talking about.
No.
If you want proof, watch Mojo's video on the 10 hardest, quote-unquote, hardest rock songs to play on guitar. Fucking Master of Puppets number 7, there's not one Metallica song that would belong on that list.
No.
Nope.
Fuck.
No. Sorry.
And Eruption number 1? Really?
Really? Yeah, this is
No.
not 1987, sorry.
But I digress with that. Of course, you can follow me on Instagram at Thrashmaniac, English motherfucker, Thrashmaniac_YT, where I am currently 24 followers away from 800 over there. And then, last but not least, follow and/or subscribe to me on Twitch at Thrashmaniac99. I'm 8 followers from 400. And, yeah, I'll probably be live on there tomorrow night, since, apart from the podcast, the last stream I did was over a week ago on a Wednesday, so there you have it. But that's pretty much going to wrap up this week, and until next week, Horns High, and we'll see you jackasses later.
Bye.